Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Gameboys Podcast. We're here with a special episode, not a traditional podcast here, but I am joined by my usual co-host, Dolan.
Hello.
And Christian.
Hi. I broke him. I was hoping
I was not expecting that.
This is why we need
I looked away from the camera for like 2 seconds, and then I looked back and
I was Gideon.
oh my word.
But yeah, so we are here today to discuss a game that just came out that we have been very excited for, very hyped for is Resident Evil Requiem. So to get started, I do have a question for my co-host here and for anybody else watching. Up to this point, obviously, what is your current favorite Resident Evil game? I'll start with you, Christian. Your limited amount of games you have played.
Yeah, I'm severely limited, so for now I'm just gonna keep it at OG Resi 4. For now, at least.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten all the way through Requiem, so I don't know yet.
Alright, Dolan. What's your favorite?
Man, I'm gonna say Remake of 1. I've been on record saying that I think it's just like the greatest bit of survival horror ever. But that does not mean that others are bad, but that's hard to top what is like my favorite of one of my favorite genres. That Remake of 1 is they don't make them like that no more.
It's a good game.
What about you though, Austin?
So up until this point, the favorite Resident Evil game for me was Remake of 4. I absolutely adored that game. Leon is the best. Leon is the good.
Nice.
Yeah, so, we have been eagerly awaiting this game, joining the hype train. As scary as I am watching a hype train from Dolan, to see if it just completely ruins his day or not. What would you say your level of hype was, Dolan?
We got up to, I'd say 9 out of 10. I did not start there because I've had, I don't think love-hate is fair, but I've been bamboozled by the RE engine era multiple times. Where specifically Remake of 3, Remake of 4, and 8, I would all say, put the best section of the entire game at the beginning. And it's not that the rest of the game is bad. In fact, I would say all of those games are good. But I think, if they're starting off with this, I can't imagine what's about to happen. And then the rest of the game proceeds to be fine or good, but not quite the like jaw-droppingly amazing level that intro was. And so when we were showing all the pre-release footage and stuff of 9, I was like, this looks amazing, but is this going to be that super dope amazing intro? And then it kind of peters out into like pretty good after that. So that's the only thing that kept it from hitting 10, because I was like stratospherically excited, but I was just trying to temper it with like, no, remember what they did in Nemesis. Remember, never forget.
I myself, you were at a 9 out of 10. I was at a 10 out of 10 hype. I was sitting at around an 8 or a 9 out of 10 hype until like the full true confirmation that Leon was going to be in the game, and then I would just full send it.
Yeah.
Favorite Resident Evil character of all time. Getting more cool Leon. He has even a cooler coat than he did in 4 Remake. Always love cool coats. But Christian, did you witness any of the marketing for it or trailers? Did you have any hype for this game, or did it just kind of show up and we boldly do to play?
I was definitely feeling hype for it. I mean, just from my experience so far in Resi, I honestly really like the Resident Evil franchise so far. And so like seeing the trailers, finding out Leon is returning, I would say in terms of out of 10, I'd probably put it at maybe a 9.5. So maybe in between you guys. I was really, really excited for this game.
How was I the least hype? I guess I'm just a pessimist.
I'm surprised you were that much hype, because your exposure... Well, I guess you played OG2. And
4, original
OG4,
4.
And OG4.
And then, like, Requiem
I
is
loved
like a
Leon
continuation of, like, kind of the remake continuity.
Yeah, this is firmly...
So it's, like, slightly different.
It is weird because, like Remake of 2 and Remake of 4 are really plot-wise, like, in the actual, if you're just reading a Wikipedia summary, not that different. There's a couple different details and some stuff like that, but really, they're fairly similar. But the tone of the games is wildly different, and so it does make 9 feel very much like a sequel to Remake of 2 and Remake of 4, and not a sequel to OG2 and OG4. I don't know if that sounds like crazy person talk, but, like, it definitely feels like... I guess I just think back to Metal Gear Solid 4, and when you go to Shadow Moses Island, and they do all the flashback stuff, and they go back to the PS1 graphics, even, like, from back then, which is more Metal Gear-y, but it's like, yeah, that's the... And then when Leon ends up in places he's been before, we have flashbacks, and we're flashing back to the remake cutscenes, it makes way more sense. It would be jarring, but it does feel weird to me to be like, yes, the place that I was 5 years ago. When they keep treating it like, yes, this happened 25 years ago, but I'm like, no, 25 years ago is on the PS1. This is... I don't know. There's some weird discordant thing in my brain. It's not bad, but it just makes it feel like this is definitely a sequel to the remake games and not the originals. But those are good, so I'm not upset about that.
Yeah, because I would say, like, the biggest difference between, like, the OGs and the new ones are mainly characterization.
Yes.
Like, Leon definitely feels like a different person in the remakes compared to the OG.
Why does nobody listen to me?
Both sides of Leon. Yeah, I love Leon in every universe that he shows up in.
Yeah?
Almost every universe, if we count the movies.
Oh, man, that would be a great bonus.
That's a whole set.
No, we should do that for the Patreon, is talk about the movies sometime. But yeah, no, it definitely... But like, it's, to be clear, when I say like it's a sequel to this, it's not a bad thing, but it's actually kind of funny, their attempt in the remakes to have a bit more of a through line continuity, I guess, because Leon's had a little bit of an arc between Remake of 2, Remake of 4, and then Requiem, which was definitely not really there, because as much as I love OG2 Leon, and as much as I love OG4 Leon, they're just different guys. Like, you could say some character development happened off screen, but OG2 Leon and OG4 Leon are just two separate really cool dudes. Whereas Remake 2 Leon and Remake 4 Leon, it feels like they worked a little bit harder to smooth over that kind of character transition. And then, Austin, I want you know, you're the only one that's played, Christian hasn't played 6, but Austin, did you feel a bit more of the, like, 6 personality actually coming out of Requiem Leon, which surprised me, or was I just hallucinating that?
I felt a little bit of 6 in the just kind of the game in general. Like, it's like a little seasoning of Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, I think you described it to me as like, what, you had percentages or something?
Yeah, when I was playing through it, especially like the Leon sections, I felt like it was like mostly like around 70, maybe a little bit more percent Resi 4 Remake, and then like 20 to 30% RE6.
Yeah.
In kind of tone and vibe and stuff throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I adored that. I loved feeling like a little bit of 6 influence.
I was surprised because it's not exactly a well-loved game in the series, even though everyone's wrong and it's amazing. But yeah, when you go to the, I guess it's the church, right? When you go back into the church and there's a big fat guy that's transforming littler guys into zombies, you brought it up too. It's like, that seems very reminiscent of 6 as well, you know? I don't know. I don't know if that's intentional or just when you have Leon fight zombies so many times, you're eventually gonna, you know, monkeys typing on keyboards writing Shakespeare. Maybe he's eventually gonna run into a church with a fat zombie transforming other zombies more than once. Oh man.
And before we get too far into this, we will be talking about some spoilers to the game, so you are warned now.
Yeah, probably about the halfway mark is where we're gonna stop plot-y spoilers, right?
Yeah, all of us have reached, for context, all of us have reached different stages of the game. I'd say Dolan is a little bit beyond halfway, maybe like 2/3 through. Mm-hmm. I'd say Christian is about a third through, and I have 2 completions. On my notes, so.
I would like
wildly different states.
I would like the audience to note the percentages and also who has children or not, and see if you can find a correlation between that. It's hard to game M-rated games when there's little people that want to watch your screen, isn't it?
Yes, very much so.
So with that, let's talk about our thoughts actually getting to dive into the game itself.
Oh yeah.
Christian, I'll go ahead and start with you. Getting into the intro of this game, getting to start off as Grace and that little section to start, and then also the little first Leon section. What were your initial impressions going into it?
So I had a few initial impressions. My first thought was, like, why in the world was Grace chosen to go back to the hotel her mother died at? And the FBI? Like, talk about worst boss of the year right there. Worst boss of the 30 years of Resident Evil. Like, that's terrible.
Nope. You have not played enough. Dude, Chief Irons!
What I've played.
No, Chief Irons was all of the RPD's boss.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I don't think of him as a boss.
Guy.
Well, still, Grace's boss in the FBI is just a terrible person. And
I like that
fired.
he takes it upon himself to make her do exposure therapy. That's what cracked me up. Is he's just like, I think you should deal with your fears. So I'm just gonna. He gave her the option.
Get over your fears. So go back to where your mother.
Was
you watched
murdered.
your mother die. Like
By
man.
yourself.
That
So that
got
was
me too.
Yeah, by yourself.
Oh, dude, though. Okay, sorry, Christian should continue. I have opinions.
Just like that didn't make sense to me. But you get past it. You're walking through. You go. I mean, it was a nice little intro of just like how to figure out the controls. Because again, I have not played a first-person Resident Evil before. So that was kind of an adjustment for me. And then, to be honest, the intro to Leon kind of felt like a Porsche ad. Because it would be like Leon, and then it would cut to like the speedometer or like the tires on his sick Porsche.
I mean, they did make that car.
It was drastically heavy marketing. Is like basically all I saw for the intro, and then him like aura farming, like when he's walking back to his car, and there's the light behind him, and he's just like strutting his stuff, like Leon, the silver fox over here.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, but it looked good.
Feeling good about himself. Oh yeah. I consider myself swoon, guys. But yeah, I felt like the intro was overall well done. A little bit, like we were talking before we started recording, a little bit slow into like the action and the meat of the game. But that tends to be normal with a lot of games nowadays, I think.
Did that opinion maintain when you were in the first section where you're introduced to the girl? Because I would still consider that the intro until that's done. Did you have the same good opinions?
Like at the,
was that a drag for you?
Okay, so the girl,
the big monster,
was definitely a good intro to figuring out like what sneaking in Resident Evil was like. Because again, I've never really. I'm jumping into this completely blind because I haven't played any of the other first persons or any of the ones we really had to like sneak around. You know,
I mean, largely haven't. That was kind of 4 Remake was the first time they really did stealth, right?
Oh, I have no idea.
There's some stealth in 7?
Not really. You can crouch, but like there's not
thing.
like there's sort of stealth, but the stealth in 7 is very much limited to like don't let him see you.
I mean, that's kind of what the girl thing is more along that as opposed to like stealth takedowns, which did start before.
Mhm.
It's very limited.
So I mean, I felt, yeah, I felt like that was a good intro to like figure out kind of how the stealth works, and then like the Leon gameplay intro was just absolutely sick. I mean, Leon, I still don't understand where the chainsaw came from, but I love that it was there.
Well, you know the chainsaw was invented for C-sections, so it makes sense that it was in a hospital.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's real. Look it up.
Fun
Why the
fact, that is
chainsaw was
real.
a bit... Yeah, that's real. Yep.
Okay.
Think about that too long if you want. Ladies, be happy you're in the 21st century.
That's insane.
No, that's why it was...
I genuinely was like, they just know that everybody loves Leon backflipping across chainsaws, so we're gonna throw a chainsaw in the intro. That was just my assumption behind it.
There you go.
All right, Dolan, I want your takes.
Yeah, okay, so I'm on record as being a RE engine intro hater. I am constantly like, why do I have to play through like 15 to 20 minutes of like boring bullcrap before I get to the game part of the game? I don't feel differently here, but I at least knew what I was getting into. This is like game 6 from this specific team and this kind of style, and so I was like, I was even talking with my wife who was watching me, and I was like, I'm not enjoying this, but I know I'm going to get past this, and then it's going to be fun. So I'm gonna be, you know, we always do this, man. Yeah, I don't think wandering around the hotel is very interesting. I don't think the tutorial with the girl is very interesting. Doubly so because she's shockingly not in the game nearly as much as I expected from what I've played. I feel like they gave you a tutorial for her, and it's like, all right, this is going to be like the main gimmick of the game. And then she shows up so far like for 20 minutes in one section later, and I was like, oh, okay. I was really expecting her to be a bigger part of this than she was. So all that, not my favorite. I will say in the hotel, I did go like, holy crap, when the zombie, you know, the poor guard out there gets turned into a zombie, and he's like, I'm gonna eat you. And then she sticks a poker through his head, and it's like, all right, good, she got him. And then he keeps chomping, and I was like, oh, these zombies are different. Which I thought there was some neat little, like, yeah. But so, if we're counting the intro as the hotel and then the section with the girl, I wrote down worst intro in the series. That's my opinion. But if we're counting it as the stuff with Leon and then the beginning of the section where you get let loose in a map actually, and it's not just like a straight hold forward, you get to make some decisions. It's maybe the second best intro ever. It depends on where you start counting as the intros. So split the difference. It's pretty darn good overall.
So, like, I understand and I follow you for, like, from the gameplay perspective of that intro, but was there any, like, positives, of, like, the general setup of the plot for the intro with you? Or were you just like, I don't like this little gameplay section, bad intro? Because I found the set, like, getting introduced to Grace as a character, finding out what happened to Alyssa, and then just kind of, like, getting stuff started, meeting Gideon, was very, very good. And that increases the intro for me, just outside of the gameplay, even though... yeah, just kind of the run forward thing isn't the most fun to replay, but I like what the plot is being set up for.
Gideon is definitely stealing the show. I think like the first cutscene I saw him, I told you, I think he's already my second or third favorite villain in the series. Like just one cutscene in. He's great. The only competition, in my opinion, are like Wesker and then Heisenberg in 8. Are the only people for me that are like villain competition. I do quite like Gideon. This is going to be maybe my most controversial thing. I don't love Grace, at least at the beginning and so far. I like the game, but as a character, I don't hate her. Her little stutter really gets on my nerves, and that's like a personal tick, but like... she's a flipping FBI agent whose parent was a survivor of Raccoon City, man. Like, I would have thought her mom would have, like, toughened her up a little bit, but she's acting like I'm like, dude, Ethan was like a stay-at-home dad, and he handles it better than, like, I feel like she does.
Ethan's a weird dude.
Ethan is...
I love Ethan to death, but Ethan's, like... There's something probably, I think, messed up in his head. The fact, because... I want to say this. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling a little bit of 7, like the beginning of 7.
Wait.
No, I can't.
No, because that's spoiling 8, not 7.
No, the thing I was going to mention it happens in 7.
Okay. Yeah, then sure.
Do you want to mute for a second?
Nah.
I'm pretty sure I know all the, like, stuff about Ethan.
Okay.
It's probably seen the memes. Okay,
That's
but it's
fair.
like, it's your introduction to healing.
No,
Oh yeah, he gets his hand chopped off.
Well, hand chopped off is a different thing, but he gets his... Pretty sure it's like his foot.
so the foot
chopped
is
off
an
in the
optional
beginning.
event.
I've seen that one too.
That's optional, but yeah, it can happen.
Okay, so yeah, you get your foot chopped off, and Ethan's just like, let me just put this back on, pour some thing, be like, what the fuck? And then just moves on. Like, There's something different in his head.
I will
That's
say,
how he reacts to getting his foot chopped
Ethan's
off.
characterization is a little bit funny because they were trying to split the difference between him being a silent, put your feet in his shoes protagonist, and still making him an actual character. And then in 8, they decided, no, he's going to be an actual character. But by then, they had characterized him as a guy that just shrugs off getting his foot chopped off. So they had to make him a bit of a weirdo. I love it. But they're like,
so I feel like that's comparing.
no, she is more
a little bit
human.
more.
She is more human. I don't hate her at all. I like her better than I liked Moira at the start of Revelations 2, for instance. So it's not like, oh gosh, this character's super grating. But I'm not... I wasn't hyper emotionally invested in like maybe if I played Outbreak. Grace's mom is from a PS2 spin-off called Outbreak, and so like I get for fans of that, it probably was heartbreaking to finally see your character after like 15 years or so, and then just watch her just get murked like in the intro. And that was probably sad, but like I haven't played those games, so I've got no emotional attachment to her. Grace is fine, but I wasn't super invested in... I don't really know what she believes or what she wants or what she's about. The only things I know about Grace is that she sure does stutter a lot. And doesn't want to die. Which is relatable. But I don't hate her, but she's just kind of there for me. And I think it was worse... I've talked about this before. Sorry. Tangent to my tangent, and then I'll stop. I've talked about this before. Capcom's like, you need to play the Grace sections in first person and the Leon sections in third person. And I've gone on, and I understand, and I'm playing it the way Capcom wants, but I've gone on record saying first person really takes me out of the experience for these games. I know I'm the only person, but like, I just felt like Grace was not a human being or a character 90% of the time while I'm in first person. I'm just like, oh, I'm in the body of someone with really shaky hands who won't stop going like the whole time, and it just kind of frustrated me. And then like when we'd get to a cutscene and you could like see her as a human being, I'm like, yes, I would literally have to remind myself like, oh right, this is a person. I just felt like I was in like kind of like default not working well body, and then I was like, right, nope, this is a young woman who is a character. So maybe that's because I'm a psychopath, I don't know. But all that to say, it wasn't super effective for me because I was just like, okay, let's get to the part of the game where I actually get to play the game. I wasn't super invested in Grace early on. Halfway through the game? God. Ooh. Like, if Grace dies in this game, she hasn't halfway through the game, spoilers, but if Grace dies in this game, I don't think I'd care. Which is not a good place to be. Because when other Resident Evil characters have died, I'm like, oh, my heart. No, not, I don't want to say who, but you know the one. You know the one I'm thinking of right now. Heartbreaking. And other ones that could have died, heartbreaking. Even, like I mentioned, Moira, by the end of that game, when you think she dies, heartbreaking. I think if Grace died right now, I just don't have enough of a connection to her.
I had a bit more of a positive reaction to Grace, so, like, I guess you got peeved at her stutter. Mm-hmm. I am not peeved by her stutter at all. Honestly, I think whoever's voicing her is doing a very good job.
No, phenomenal. I want to be very clear. She's doing what the voice directors are telling her to do, and she's doing great. All the acting in this is great.
And that almost kind of like amplifies her character a bit, because like I feel like it's not a bland I think bland performances can really kill a character for me. Like for Remake, I never really liked Ada anyway. For that, but I never liked Ada. But I really don't like Ada in 4 Remake, and that's like half because her performance sucks.
I don't know that's to be clear. I don't know. We also don't know how much of that is that the voice actress or is that the voice direction.
One of the two. Either way, the performance of that Ada was very lackluster.
Yes.
Because I like the Remake 2 Ada a lot more.
Yes.
But because he actually felt more like a character, like a person.
I think
Grace's voice is giving a lot to that character, and I don't have that disassociation in the first person. I don't like first person as much as third person for Resident Evil games still, but I don't have that disconnect. So I'm never really trying to like fight myself to remind myself I'm playing Grace. So I still have that full connection to her. So I still enjoy and I like Grace as a character up to the point that you're at. So.
Yeah, I did have to fight to remember her as like a character and not like a vehicle just for my actions, which in a way I didn't have to with Leon, because I'm seeing him do this stuff. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a psychopath.
I will say, from the perspective of playing the game twice, one in first person with Ashley and one in third person with Ashley, I am a third person enjoyer for Grace. Yeah. I don't know why I said Ashley.
Because she's Grace Ashcroft, and there's another blonde that follows Leon around everywhere, and her name is Ashley. I kept doing the same thing.
Yeah. But, I mean, I get why they said first person for it. I don't think it is a negative way to play it, but I'm always going to stick to third person going forward playing as Grace. It is nice, and maybe you'll like Grace a little bit more for yourself and how your keys work, but... I did not find that third person takes away from the experience playing this.
I will say this without getting too... I'm also... Part of the annoyance is also how she reacts at the halfway point. I don't have context for beyond that, but she makes decisions. I'm like, what is her personality? Doesn't want to die. Doesn't want to let a blind little girl die. Also, good. That's the most positive thing for her, is how she treats Emily. That does endear me to her. I like that. But, no, okay, you know what? Another thing I didn't think about. She runs into Gideon at one point and manages to, like, juke him. You saw that too, Christian, because it's in the... No, he hasn't seen it yet. Whoops, sorry. Well, she manages...
Yes, he's
to the basement. Yeah, okay.
The first section, yeah.
Do you remember...
Oh, yeah.
You remember
when she runs, she opens the door and then tracks back and hides under the desk?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was clever.
I liked that. That did make me like her more, because she was proactive. I appreciated that. So, you know what? All right. She's not neutral. I like her mildly now. Still not like, yeah, because I do kind of feel like, gameplay-wise, I like her sections as much as Leon's, personally. But story-wise, I'm like, all right, when do I get back to Leon? Only story-wise, but I am so much ready to get back in his shoes, like, every time.
I had this similar feeling, always wanted to get back in Leon's shoes, but that's just because I freaking adore Leon.
Leon's dope!
Yeah. Playing as Grace, I'll go ahead and start here. I really liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to like it. I thought going into like playing, like, oh, am I going to feel the same way I did about 7, and so to speak, which 7 was a fun game. I enjoyed 7. I gave it a 4 out of 5. But I didn't care for the kind of horror-ish first person type of thing. And then Grace section shows up and I'm like, oh, this can be really fun actually. And it was the first time I felt the most tense playing as Grace in any Resident Evil game of the RE Engine era. So more tense than 7. A little bit like that kind of factor, a little bit more like scary/tense kind of go hand in hand for me. Just kind of deal with the situations. The resource management was very appropriate. I was never overflowing in resources, and I was like, oh, cool, I have to be careful when I use my ammo. I'm not drowning in ammo like 2 Remake pretends to be a horror game, but it's like I'm drowning in bullets. I can kill everything. As Grace, I'm just like, I can't kill anything. No. What do I do?
you tell me what you think, but I'd say on a first playthrough, I know things change later, but I felt like I could kill reliably maybe about a third of the enemies I ran into. And the rest were ones I needed to juke or just waste a bullet to shove them and then keep running.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is, I love that. About 1/3. I was like, yes.
You had to make decisions and you had to live with those decisions.
Oh.
Christian, how did you feel about how resources were managed?
Well, you guys remember how well I manage resources in Resi 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So,
oh no.
in my sections of grace, let me just paint a picture for you guys. I completely forgot that Resi encourages you to shoot a bullet, push, and run. I fought the chef as Grace.
Oh, yeah. I
killed him.
I did too.
And I used like 30 rounds.
Oh. Do you want to be sad, Christian?
I know that like the Requiem would have probably taken him out like 1 or 2.
I got you there. I just used the Hemo stealth kill item on him. It kills him in 1 hit like any other enemy.
I have been not crafting those. I've been crafting ammo.
Brother, those are OP.
Those items are incredibly useful.
Yeah, do you want to waste 30 bullets, which is like 3 scraps, and and a bunch of blood, or do you want to use 30 blood and just tweak and then they die?
And can't get back up.
Yeah, and don't become the red crimson head blister head things.
Mm-hmm. So that's a little picture for you guys.
Did you at least go to the pantry and get the charms and stuff, though?
There was only 1 charm there, right?
Yeah. As Grace, there's a second one as Leon if you go back there.
Oh, I didn't go back there. I spent plenty of time running around as Leon because I didn't know where I was supposed to go. And I used most of his ammo running around trying to find out where to go.
Nice.
And I took all the Grace...
problem with him.
I took all the ammo and healing items that were around the area as Grace. So then when I got to Leon, I was like 1 hit away when I went to the director's office that has all of the blister heads.
Nice.
But at least I had some boom boom. So I am not good at resource management. Clearly, I am not well versed enough in the Resident Evil franchise to be able to remember that you can do hit, shove, keep running. I do have a question for you guys about the Grace gameplay. Does crouching versus running make that big of a difference?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because I've crouched the entire game so far, except for when I'm just trying to run past them. And
audio matters.
Sometimes when I run past them, it doesn't seem like they even notice that I'm there.
You can
maybe I just run too fast.
Closer than it feels like you should, but it does still matter.
Okay, because there was one section where I was like, I don't have ammo. I just gotta run, and they, at least from the audio, because I ran past them and kept running. From the audio, they never turned around and aggroed against me or anything. So
it depends. This is something I want to talk about. It depends on the enemy because they have different types of behaviors. So, the scrubbing lady is way less observant than a lot of the other zombies, and the light flicking guy, unless you go literally right behind him within arm's reach, doesn't ever notice you.
Okay.
So there's different. Some guys are more observant than others, I guess is the point I'm making.
Okay.
Which I love.
Because those were the enemies that didn't even notice me.
Yeah. No, they're the most easily distracted because if she's got something to clean, she will turn, but she'll look, and then if you're already halfway across the room, she just kind of shrugs her shoulders and then goes back to cleaning, basically. I love the enemy behavior. Oh yeah.
Favorite infection type for me now.
Yeah.
It took over Las Plagas for me. I love Las Plagas, but zombies continuing their day jobs freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I loved.
It's so
and
upsetting.
just the variety.
Yeah, the different enemy. Because my favorite moment probably of Resident Evil Revelations is there's the guy that's like the comms officer for the ship that you're on, and as you're approaching the store, you hear him going like, "Mayday, Mayday, we're going down," and then he bursts out and he's a big, horrible, ugly creature you have to fight, and the whole time you're fighting him, he's like, "Please, I just want a hug," as he's like trying to eat you and stuff. And it really stuck with me. And I'm like, every frigging enemy is the comms officer in this game. Is running around, not even fully understanding they're a zombie, doing their old job. It's horrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it with how dynamic the encounters are.
Mm-hmm.
What added to the the tense feeling for me was not only were they doing their own jobs, but they would kind of shift around dynamically. Mm-hmm. Going back to that cleaning lady, depending on where you kill certain zombies near her, will just change her position on where she's cleaning.
Okay.
And that was very fun.
It's not just that, because this is maybe my favorite moment in the game so far, which is funny because it's subtle. There's some crazy stuff that happens later, but probably the coolest moment for me is, do you remember the big, I think they're called chunks, the zombies that are so big they can barely even fit through the hall, Christian?
Are there more than one, or is it the one guy?
No, there's two. You fought one with Leon, and then you have the one with Grace that you deal with. You're past
I didn't kill the one as Grace, so I just assumed that it was the same guy. And
you didn't have to kill it, but you can kill it.
It's a different... Yeah,
I killed it as Leon.
No, yeah, I killed it as Grace,
different
too.
Ones.
But anyway...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, one of those pushed through the hallway and killed the light switch guy, because he just kept sitting there flipping a switch and then the cleaning lady saw that and then started scrubbing it and opened a pathway, and I was like, the enemies were even interacting, not just based on me or just based on the preset the developer switched to flag, but they were dynamically interacting with each other. And when you're Leon, this also happens when the chainsaw gets passed around, a zombie will try and hit you and accidentally stick a chainsaw into another zombie, and then that zombie will grab it out of him and pass around the chainsaw ring around the Rosie. I love the enemies dynamically interacting with each other.
Or if you knock them down when they're holding the chainsaw, and the chainsaw just drags them across the floor. But for the cleaner lady, on my first run through, I killed a zombie right outside of the door leading from the main central lobby into that wing. And he died there. And so the cleaner lady just sat in front of the door cleaning every time. So it was so obnoxious to try to leave.
Nice.
The dynamics between them is so interesting. I kept on trying to. I never got them close enough, but the enemy that is very sounds freak him out, and he's if you destroy a crate, he goes insane. I kept on trying to get him close to the singer, but I don't think I ever got them close enough because they were still there was still a room between them.
Yeah.
Well, there was one section where there was one. It was literally just a hallway between the two, and I was hoping that I could get them close enough, but I was hoping to trick him into taking her out for me, but
nice.
Didn't work.
Yeah, in terms of replayability, which we talked about how valuable that is for these games, the dynamics on these guys are crazy. Because, for instance, I walked into that room, saw he had a blood bag, and blood is a resource that you can use to craft things. Instantly, just one hit took him out. And Austin's like, that's my favorite guy in that. I love him. He's so funny. And I was like, he spoke 2 words and then just died, and I did not interact with him my entire run. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him. He's just quiet. Damn it. All the time. And he was so easy to get around because he was blind. So I'm
I didn't even know he was blind. I didn't let him live long enough to be blind. I just saw he had a blood bag and I went yoink and just killed him. I was like, this pays for itself, was what I was thinking when I did it.
Fair enough. In order to avoid too much, so we got to the underground section. I don't really know how much recap I want to really do for this one, since it's mainly just kind of getting the first impression. So, I mean, when we get to that second area, because Christian's just getting there, Belle and I have both completed that section. It's kind of the first section that truly has kind of a stalker. I've never been a fan of stalkers. The best one is still OG3 Nemesis as like the best design stalker, even though I still didn't really care for him in that because I just don't like stalkers personally. That holds true in this one. I did not care for Light Girl or dealing around Light Girl. She's just kind of an annoying obstacle. Very scripted, and kind of like scripted in annoying ways for me. I would ask you what your thoughts are, Christian, but I don't think you have much experience dealing with her yet. So, Dalton.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the gameplay. I've just seen the cutscene.
So, Dalton, give me your critique on this stuff.
I wanted to talk. I would love probably just your opinion right now, Austin. I'll ask you a question in a second back, but with her specifically, I mean, it sounds so grumpy. I sound so hard on the RE Engine era, even though I do quite like most of the games. I mean, like, I'd take any RE Engine game except for maybe 8 over like 5, for instance. So, you know, I'm not, and like, you know, she's rough. I don't think she hits the mark. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think the RE Engine has done a stalker well since like Baker, frankly. I do like Baker because he was that perfect mix of like, yeah, he's going to show up in scripted sections, but also there's a lot of optional stuff with him, which is something I think a stalker needs. She feels 1000% scripted. You and I have both mentioned that it's like you'll juke her basically. She'll be behind you and you'll be walking forward, but then the scripted thing says she's gotta be here. And so even though you're running away from her behind you, she just crawls through a vent in front of you. And it's like, wait a minute, you were literally right behind me. You just kind of teleported in front of me. And that, or you'll hear her in the distance and you're like, I'm safe. And then walk under a hole or a vent and she just pops up in front of you. And it's like, okay, that was not an interesting dynamic thing where there's a, you know, you know, sort of AI that's like trying to find you. It's like, no, the developer went flag here, you cross this threshold, she's gonna show up. And so she never feels like an interesting threat. She feels like a bit of an obnoxious obstacle. And you watch me play a lot of my game. How many times did I go, and she's gonna show up here? And, you know, and she's gonna show up. A couple times she didn't, but like you'd get to like a fork in the road, and it'd be very obvious. It's like, I'm going to walk forward. Oh no, she has now appeared, and I am forced to turn around, do a ring around the rosy, and then go forward again. That's like 90% of her appearances in this. So,
like, I would even say Mr. X is even better to deal with, because like at least Mr. X, like, he had his scripted things, but he never did the as obnoxious teleport around.
He does.
As
disagree.
Well, he does teleport around, but not to the absurdity of the girl.
He always
because
comes
at least
through
when
a door,
Mr. X is present and you're running away from him, he doesn't just pop up in front of you.
That
There's no instance
is true. He does. His teleporting is like you can hear him and he's in the distance, and then you open a door and then he's just in that room, kind of a deal. That happens occasionally where it's like, you were not there until I opened this door, you cheeky, you know. But like it is true. He never like jumps through a ceiling, damaging you when he was very clearly someone else, you know, a minute ago. But
just popping up in front of you when he is behind you.
Yeah, but like
I've never had that happen in 2 Remakes.
The difference is she's in so little of this game. That's the thing, is like when she's there, she's the most egregious version of this, in my opinion. But she's in so little of this game. Mr. X is so ever present that I would. Oh man, it's tough. These two are duking it out for worst stalker in the series for me. I don't know. I'll let the fans decide. But like, it's funny because she's in so much of the marketing, and I would say she is far and away the low light of this game for me. Dealing with the dynamic zombies, dealing with the little puzzles, dealing with the environmental stuff is all so interesting and some of the best the series has ever done. And every time she shows up, I don't go, oh crap, I have to rethink my whole strategy. I go, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say the saving grace is that she's barely in it, so it doesn't like really hurt the full thing in the game. It's like you got one section where you deal with the annoyance, and then once the annoyance is dealt with, it's like cool. I get to enjoy the rest of the game without worried about it now.
But the saving grace is actually Leon. So
yeah,
that's true.
But yeah, so you got some more stuff to experience.
Yes.
Christian, you got a full grace section to deal with.
I wanted to point something else out, related to that real fast, which is that I was funny. Our shorts were coming up, which thank you, by the way, so much, Christian. You are amazing at that. But one that even posted today was us talking about the zapping system from the original RE2, and it was like, we love the idea, but the execution's kind of crummy because you work really hard for a crummy reward, and it doesn't feel like it really pays off. Or like when you do one thing in one game and later. This is what I wanted basically out of the zapping system. Like you were talking about, you took all the healing items as grace, not any left over for Leon, or you killed that tough enemy or didn't kill that tough enemy as grace, and Leon's got to deal with it. Obviously, he's going to be better at dealing with it, but like, I was thinking, even though they didn't make it a big deal of the advertising, that this is what I wanted the zapping system to be, and I just wanted to point that out. Good job, Requiem. You very subtly, without even tossing into the market, kind of made my mechanical dream come true.
Yeah, it's pretty nice because I experimented a little bit more with it on my second run speed through. I was like, I didn't kill this thing as Grace the first time. I'm gonna kill it as Grace this time, and then see with the Leon stuff or leave certain enemies around. And it's like, yeah, it definitely translates through. It's like I killed the singing lady the second time as Grace. Leon pops up, no singing lady to deal with this time. So I'm like, cool, that's nice. I know you can go explore a little bit more around. I was hightailing it to the objective, so I didn't explore, but I'm sure if I wanted to do more exploring later as Grace, but if I go pop up as Leon, I could probably just go and clear the whole place.
Well,
and then move on. I assume. I haven't tested that.
Well, no, you can to a degree, because that's the funny thing is, I didn't kill the singing lady as Grace either, but I killed her as Leon. And she still drops an antique coin. If you try and pick it up as Leon, he's like, nah, I'm going to leave this here. And when I was as Grace, I also decided to go just to the objective in this case, because I had explored pretty thoroughly my first trip through. But I looked at the map, and sure enough, that antique coin was there, so I could have gotten the last reward from the casino room, even though Leon killed the enemy. So yeah, there's definitely crossover in how you want to handle the enemies in that first area.
I'm sure there's little fancy secrets and other stuff to do as a result of playing with that system, which are going to be fun.
You said there's a puzzle, right?
Yeah, so after I beat the game, this isn't really a spoiler, but you can go to the challenge log to see all the different things to earn the challenge points. And at the very bottom, there's just something called the final puzzle. And it just says something ominous like, hear the twins sing, as how to complete it or something like that. And I was like, what is this? So I just kind of Googled, because I'm curious, what am I supposed to do? Am I not understanding? And it's I found this article. It's yeah, here's this puzzle. It's just scrolling of all this really absurd
esoteric
stuff that you can find out, stuff from clues across the entire campaign. And they got to the bottom, it's this is all we figured out so far. People are still trying to figure out what the heck this final puzzle is that these devs put in here.
I love that.
And I am really excited to find out what the heck this is, because this is I haven't felt excited about a really big puzzle that the community's trying to figure out since the I Would Have Been Your Daddy Halo 3 store. People trying to figure out those trying to figure that stuff out, and we gotta figure out what this reward is, and, everybody pulling together.
Pete,
that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm so sad y'all missed PT, because I mentioned PT to you, Austin. You're like, I don't know what that is. Christian, do you know what PT is? No. Oh, my word.
Physical therapy?
There was a game called PT on the PS4 stores. It was a little free indie horror thing. And it was really esoteric. It was a hallway simulator, walking down a hallway, but every time you'd walk, things would change mildly. It turned out to be these insanely obscure, really weird puzzles. And it took the community 2 weeks, trying to figure it out. And then when someone finally solved it, it turned out to be a trailer for a Hideo Kojima reboot of Silent Hill. It got canceled, unfortunately, but like that was a huge, big community-wide puzzle back in the day, and it was a big friggin' deal. And when I saw that hand and saw that there was puzzles connected to it, I was just having flashbacks to PT. So, shout out to the true believers, the true PTers.
Yeah. So that's like that just points to the devs. I don't know if I will like be a contributing factor to solving the puzzle, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out from that, and I'm really glad it exists.
I want to see how far I can get, which I know will be not far before I have to look stuff up when I go for it.
Just from the small bit that I've seen, because I don't have any of it memorized, good luck.
Yeah.
Good. Watching, you might have been sleepy, but watching your observance level, I don't know.
Oh, I was very tired. No, yeah, I was. But also, before we get completely off that subject and stalkers, I want you to rank me best to worst stalkers. Not in a like this is not standing up for all time, but just off the top of your head. I mean, Christian, you can too, but I think you've basically just had the original Mr. X and Nemesis.
Yeah.
So.
So I have 3.
That's 2.
Don't remember OG
Light Girl.
Mr. X Nemesis. Or Stalker.
OG Mr. X is he literally just shows up at 3 prescribed points, punches through a wall, basically, and that's
not a stalker.
I mean,
that's an event.
I don't know. He's on the fence. Honorary mention for OG Mr. X. Then how's that?
So best to worst. I'll try to see if I can remember all of the ones because I might just forget one. Best OG3 Nemesis.
Yep.
Second best, I guess Baker.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that list so far.
Is there one in 8?
Yes, Lady Dimitrescu in the first castle.
Okay. She's about as equivalent as Mr. X.
I think she's way less annoying than Mr. X.
She's way less annoying. I think I want to put her above Remake 2,
yeah.
Mr. X.
I'd agree.
Then Remake Nemesis. Then the lady.
Where's Mr. X in this?
The Mr.
Reboot.
X is above Reboot Nemesis. And then below Lady D.
Wait.
So OG Nemesis.
Yep.
Baker.
Yep.
Lady D.
Yep.
Mr. X Reboot.
Yeah.
Reboot Nemesis. The girl. That's the ones that I remember.
I actually think I agree with that, which is funny. I'm trying to think, I want to be contrarian or have like some vastly different opinion, but I actually think I 100% agree with that list. All right, that is now the official Gameboys.
We finally agree with something. World
No,
peace has
that's
been
just 100% right. I think you're just objectively correct.
I need that clip so I can just put that in anything that I say now.
Editor Dolan, get Austin a clip just telling him he's objectively correct. But yeah, man, oh man. Okay, we should talk about some other stuff. You know, anything we need to. But I want to get to that halfway twist. I think we need to talk about that soon. But is there anything else we're missing?
I think we've covered pretty much everything that
Yeah.
Christian's been involved with.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're just kind of getting into stuff that he hasn't seen.
We got to talk about it. Because I don't know. You wanted my theories on camera before because we're in a unique position where I have some information, but not all the information. So it's wild speculation station time, I think.
All right, Christian, do you want to sound off on your fine listening, or do you want to mute?
No, listen.
Listen. I'll listen. I have theories of my own, but I'm sure they're not.
What kind of theory do you have? Let's hear.
I want to hear Christian's theory.
At first, one theory that I had was that, and I don't know because I haven't got to the end of the game, that Leon is gonna fully turn and be evil at the end.
Like as a zombie.
Like he's gonna fully turn zombie, and Grace is gonna have to fight him.
Okay. I've said since the beginning, Leon turns into a zombie, but keeps enough of his personality to shoot the bad guy, and then he turns to Grace and hands her back the Requiem, and is like, Grace, shoot me, that's, and then you have to pull the trigger as Grace.
You have to kill Leon.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a crazy theory, but that's been.
But, well, I guess that it depends if Leon's infected with this same strain.
Oh, that's true. He's got a mutated T-virus, which isn't the same thing as what the Elpis that the zombies have.
So there you go.
Yeah, so that's actually... There goes my theory.
Oh, is Elpis the name of the virus?
Yeah, they've said that before. Elpis is the name of the virus that everyone's got.
He's said to, like, raise Elpis, or he said Elpis, but I didn't know
that's the name
what
of the
that was.
virus, yeah.
He has... Okay.
Yeah. I'm still holding true to my Grace has to shoot zombie Leon in the head theory. This is my Aliens of Zero Escape, which doesn't make sense. This is going to go out before any of that, so no one's going to understand what we're referencing.
Yeah, nobody's going to know. Aliens? What are they talking about?
Foreshadowing. It's time travel foreshadowing for the Zero Escape series. This is my Aliens theory that I'm holding off until after the credits roll. That Grace is going to shoot Leon in the head as a zombie. With the Requiem.
So my other theory involves Light Girl.
Yeah.
So there's a picture of like the little blind girl and a girl that, at least from my perspective, it looked like they were almost identical. And in the cell next to the blind girl's cell, Emily's cell, there's a little hole in the wall. So I'm wondering if like they were twins, and Light Girl is mutated twin. I don't know.
Do you want an answer?
And like she started to mutate and she like burrowed through the wall.
You know what? I'll tell you this. The moment I got to that cell, I said, "Oh, okay, that's where the monster is." Did I not, Austin? We
both jumped to the exact same conclusion.
It's not
as soon as
very
we got to
subtle.
that cell.
Maybe we were
all...
all...
She climbs through holes.
Yeah.
Here's a missing girl. It's the girl.
Maybe we're all wrong.
I'm trying to think if I had any other theories. Maybe this is said or not, but Gideon clearly is like infected. And
really?
So.
No, I just thought he had a sunburn.
Wearing like a trench coat. So, I'm wondering is he wearing a trench, like the same kind of trench coat that like Mr. X and Nemesis had, that like prolongs the extent of the mutation? That was one thought that I had.
It looks different, but it could be. It's a snakeskin looking thing versus theirs, which was black leather.
Maybe it's just a design. Maybe it's leather, but he like carved snakeskin into
very
it.
obviously.
Like, no, I want it slithery.
Literally every Resident Evil villain, like at some point, either injects themselves or goes out of control and then turns into a big scary monster. He's literally even looks like sewn up, like he's gonna pop apart and turn into a bigger thing. Like, I don't know that yet, but
I do feel like he's gonna pop apart.
I feel very confident.
I want to know what's going on with his eyes. I want to see him without the eye thing, because maybe you've seen him at this point, but I haven't seen him without the lenses.
I feel like
that's all my theories.
I feel like you do at one point, but maybe I'm wrong.
I haven't.
Leon and
it's always been like under his mouth.
Yeah, Leon and him
like,
flirting was a scene.
I freaking love that.
When's the last time you brushed your teeth?
Would you like to begin your treatment? Silent treatment.
That's so good, dude.
Freaking love Leon.
That's so good.
This is kind of getting sidetracked, but I thought it was kind of funny how like, so Gideon has all this like tech, like he literally has a ejection gun that he can shoot to infect people, but for both Grace and Leon, he's like, how am I gonna knock these people out? He just chokes them until they pass out.
So
I thought that was kind of funny.
I can't speak to Leon, but very obviously with Grace, he doesn't want her dead / mutated. Also, she got bit in the beginning and didn't transform, so I'm assuming she has some... They keep going, Grace is the key to everything, so like, clearly they want...
Well, they were draining her blood.
Yeah, so I get her. Maybe because Leon has the mutated T-virus, it wouldn't interact very nicely. I don't know that, but like, you could assume if Elpis is related to the T-virus, which it seems like it is and should be, like, he has something like an immunity, or like it would interact weirdly, so playing devil's advocate.
But like, being in medicine, I'm like, why doesn't he just put an anesthetic in those vials and just pew, pass out.
Well, he wanted to like torture
I don't know.
Leon.
That was one of my
I don't
thoughts.
quite know. I don't know, honestly, because he does
I don't
toy
know.
with Leon too. It's just evil villain monologuing stuff, man. You
it just feels
sly
like he
trickster!
likes
You
choking
got me
people.
monologuing.
Okay, go on to your theories.
Okay. I need to give context for this, so I'm going to mildly spoil something that means nothing to you. Huge, big, mega, ultimate, infinite spoilers. If you're interested in the game, everyone says both beating it and partway through it, you should go give it a try. This is a game worth playing and experiencing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't care, if you're just here for our glowing personalities or need more convincing, at about the halfway point, some crap's gone down. Grace is not feeling it, and she kind of runs off, and Leon's left picking up the pieces, and then Grace, runs into Gideon. They, open a door, and who should be standing there but who appears to be, by all appearances, frigging Albert Wesker, of series fame. Now, Christian, that doesn't mean a ton to you because you've played 1, 2, 3, and 4, the originals, and Wesker is the guy that died pitifully in the first game, and then kind of talked menacingly in the 4th game, right?
And I know he shows up in 5.
Yes,
because I played.
he is
halfway
the
through
main
5.
villain of 5. What you don't know is that he dies by being double helix grenade launchered in a volcano after he is transformed into a super mutant beast and has been dead. No, that is real. And he's been dead for a long time. So seeing him just kind of nonchalantly walk into frame is surprising, to say the least. I mean, so they call him Zeno and not Albert Wesker, but it is the same voice actor as Remake of 4. He's wearing the exact same outfit and hairstyle that Wesker always wears. He's talking and acting like Wesker. But there's some weird things. First off, the obvious double helix volcano explosion, notwithstanding. Some characters die and it's they could always come back. You saw them fall off. When Ada dies. I guess the version you saw, she does get crushed to death. But in general, she falls. Oh, she fell into the darkness. Or something someone got stabbed, but then their body's missing. Oh, maybe they're dead. That kind of a deal, right? Wesker did not die an ambiguous death. I really have to point that out. So seeing him back here raises a lot of questions. My immediate thought, I think I said this, whether it's right or wrong, I've basically only had one theory that I've stuck to pretty consistently. I've tossed out a couple side ones, but the big thing I thought is, does that mean the Wesker we've been fighting since Code Veronica and 4 is a clone? Because this Wesker shows up, and he's got the bruising that Leon and Sherry and the others have, that are the curse of Raccoon City or whatever, right? So that indicates to me this can't be a separate clone, because this had to be someone who was at Raccoon City 20 years ago. He looks exactly like Wesker, so it would be really weird for there to have been a clone of Wesker 20 years ago who also was at Raccoon City. Maybe that's what they're going to tell us is going on, but that seems too stupid for this game. I feel like this game has been more intelligent than that. And I also have a hard time believing, I think also stupid is, he transformed into a giant hulking rage monster and then got blown up with explosions in a volcano, but then he just got better and got a normal body back later. It just shrunk back down and got better. That also seems too stupid. Those could have, maybe the game will surprise me. But the last thing I'll toss out is there are other Wesker children, but it would be really weird for this to be an entirely separate character who happened to be at Raccoon City the same time the original Wesker was, and also looks and voiced and styles his outfits the exact same as he does, but is just a different guy who happens to look kind of like him. I also think that would be stupid. So my standing theory is this is going to be revealed to be the original Wesker from RE1, and then at some point, I would assume around the time he got superpowers, because this guy hasn't displayed superpowers yet. Some point there was a clone that started doing, I would assume around Code Veronica, and the Code Veronica and 4 and 5 guy was a clone, and the original Wesker from the first game is here without superpowers. I don't know. I can't really make it make sense yet. But yeah, Christian, you look like you had a...
So, to play devil's advocate for what you're saying, I don't know what's going on. So,
yeah,
I barely even know who Wesker is.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of rumors that a Resi 5 remake is going to get shadow dropped.
And Code Veronica is the other big one.
And I've also seen about Veronica. So maybe those are going to retcon him and the volcano.
I hope.
I don't know.
I hope not.
Just a
because
thought.
Resident Evil remakes so far have not retconned anything that... I mean, Austin, correct me on this, at least related to the other ones. None of the remakes have changed a factor that big. The closest I could say that's a big change is Resident Evil 3 has like 4 or 5 endings, the original 3, and Remake of 3 definitively lays down some things as having happened. Because like there's some endings where Nikolai gets away in the original version of 3, depending on what you do. And in Remake of 3, he just dies, like flat out. It's not ambiguous. So, but even that wasn't like changing a character's fate. It was just kind of confirming, like, of the multiple choices, this is the one that definitely happened, you know, basically. There weren't multiple choices in 5. Wesker is explode, and it wasn't like, originally they show him and he gets shot in the heart, and then, like, they could move it a little bit over to the shoulder. He was double helix exploded with golden grenade launchers inside of a volcano. This was not, like, if they change it to, like, he was, oh no, he was kind of stabbed in the arm. Like, that's a huge change. You know, maybe they'll retcon it, but I would be if the answer is just we're gonna make his death more ambiguous. I don't love that, because also they'd have to retcon him turning into a giant Hulk monster, because I still think it'd be stupid if he just comes back looking like a human after he gets transformed into a Hulk monster. They have to retcon him getting blown up with rocket launchers, of which no one has survived a rocket launcher death. That is the definitive you die and stay dead thing in the Resident Evil universe. And they'd have to retcon him dying inside an active volcano. So that's like 3 different big retcons. It's also a big deal that he's definitely dead, because that's very related to the plot of 6, at least. So if they're just like, actually, he didn't... It would also frustrate me that this is the second time... I guess this is going to happen either way, but this seems to be the second time we've retconned. It's like, no, we definitely killed Wesker, and then they're like, or did we? So I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll be mildly disappointed, and it'll be one of the theories I said was dumb. But the least dumb theory is that superpowered British Wesker was a clone, and the non-British, non-superpowered guy is the original guy who's been in hiding for 20 years. We'll see. That's my big theory. Did you have any other... Austin, you asked me for theories. Were there other relevant theories that you wanted from me?
No, I think that's the most interesting to talk about for what you
have. We'll see. Do you think, Austin, I'm going to be frustrated, or I'm going to be like, oh, snap? Either way, when I get more answers.
I feel like trying to give any information or even answering that could be giving you information I don't want you to have.
Fair enough. We'll see when we get there. Because I don't know if we're
going to watch.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do a follow-up. I don't think we're going to do a follow-up immediately on First Impressions, but we are going to continue playing the Resident Evil series. So we're going to get back to 9, and by then my opinions, 7 years from now, my opinions will have settled one way
See
or
you in 2030, baby.
Oh,
yeah, we'll release it just in time for Resident Evil 9 Remake.
Oh, no.
Full circle.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Well, that's pretty much all that I kind of have for this one. Anybody else have any, additional comments about the game?
Blood crafting is cool.
Agreed.
I have a fun fact.
No.
Go for it.
I saw a thing about this online, and it may not be a fun fact because you guys might already know about it. But as Grace in the room with where you use the antique coins, you can play. Is it crabs?
Yeah.
What's that game called?
Yeah, with the roulette, right?
Roulette.
Mm-hmm.
If you shoot 29 and then play it, you get an antique coin. And I don't know what the limit is, but I saw somebody do it 3 times and they got an antique coin each time.
Just infinitely spawning antique coins.
Yeah. There are 3 numbers that it can spin to, and you can shoot those and get the 3 coins. I learned that after I finished the game once already.
Oh. Neat.
I think it's 7, 19, and 29 or something like that.
I think it's 7, 15, and 20.
I don't know.
What's the relevance?
Editor Dolan.
What? Oh, man.
No. I'm 90% sure it's 7, 15, 20.
What's the relevance of those numbers?
A new Resident Evil is going to drop
Maybe it has something
7,
to do with
15,
the final puzzle.
20, 29. Oh, yeah, that could be too.
But yeah, I am super stoked for you guys to finish the game and give like the full thoughts. For me, after replaying this game twice, it is my personal favorite Resident Evil game.
Oh, man.
It was contending with 4 Remake until I replayed it a second time because I wanted to see how its replayability was. It got more fun replaying it a second time. It has taken #1 spot for me.
Nice.
Which you said made it your broke into it's number 5 on your top 5 games now, right?
Of my overall favorite games, Resident Evil 4 Remake was number 5 favorite game. It is now dethroned, so now Requiem is my number 5 favorite game.
I like how quickly that episode is becoming absolutely irrelevant.
We'll have to do it again.
At some point. I don't think mine's changed at all, so I guess I'm grumpy.
You've played a lot more games.
You've lost, 2 have moved for you, 1 has moved for you, and I think mine's identical right now.
4 have moved. Oh wait, no. Did we make that before or after Claire's?
Before, that's why. Claire Obscure.
Okay, so 2 games.
Claire Obscure knocked his 1 down. Claire Obscure and then Requiem have now knocked 2 off for you. Because it was 4 Remake, because that had come out. And then 4 Remake's been replaced by Requiem, and then Claire Obscure knocked Spider-Man or something off the list. I don't remember, but yeah.
Mass Effect.
Yeah. But yeah, so. And I'm grumpy and hard to please, apparently. But I am quite enjoying Requiem. I'll give this, you know what, I'll put it for posterity. Right now, gun to my head with where it's at. It is contending for at least 2nd favorite Resident Evil. I don't know that it's going to top the remake for me. Remake of 1 for me, I should say. But my 2nd favorite Resident Evil is 4, and I think this might be as good as 4. It might end up being better than 4, which is crazy. It is crazy how good this game is. So, I hope it holds up. I hope I continue to love it as we go forward.
Right.
I hope that we get to see Leon do a backflip. That's all I'm waiting for.
Yeah, it's something like a backflip is definitely. Yeah. You're not going to be disappointed for Leon antics pretty soon. I'll tell you that.
Okay, good.
Leon, I spammed Doll and just Leon pure cinema moments so many different times for the Leon half of the game. He gets up to some shenanigans. Yeah. They are freaking great.
It's somehow both more extreme, but also more restrained than Resident Evil 6. That's how I feel. Oh, right, you don't know what that means.
6 is a trip, man.
Oh, yeah. Man. We're all gonna get there. No, this is a good time. Yeah, go play it if you like these games. Even if you don't, you should maybe play it anyway.
Okay.
Well, thanks for chatting about this game with me, fellas. I look forward to you guys finishing in it. And to everybody else watching, if you haven't played this game, what are you doing here? Go play the game.
Yep.
If you have played the game, tell us what you thought about the game. It's a great time. But yeah, this is Austin signing off.
I'm Dolan.
And I'm Christian.
Yeah.
Thanks, and have a great day.
We did it. Now I have to edit it.